because I've been using myself with my
What? No, it's just, this is fine. Just nobody touch this.
Next year I'm probably going to do 2 panels for a couple years.
Oh, you can't phrase it like that.
I went from, there's another con that's local here, that I went from volunteering, volunteer for the security.
This does not look like 224 people.
I mean, it's a much smaller.
We're getting there. Just give it a few minutes.
But I was like, hey.
Is opening ceremony still going, or is it done? It's over! What about LineCon?
LineCon's still going.
Well,
Of course it is.
I have heard so many sad stories about Minecraft.
12,000 pre-registers.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to defeat LineCon. You see, Anthrocon needs people to help. And if you help, you get through lines. You can go right by everything. You're a member of staff, a couple hours over your weekend, you know, just help people out. And, you know, you won't have to deal with LineCon.
$5 for a ticket and mail them. Oh no, it's eliminate LineCon.
show of hands. Who arrived here on Tuesday?
Okay.
Sure.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
You are technically in the city, so you're good.
All right, who arrived yesterday? All right, all right. And just to...
Locally, I'm always here.
And then who did arrive today? All right. And show of hands, time travelers, who's arriving tomorrow? All right, thank you. We can do some of the other informal ones while people are strolling in. Show of hands, this is your first Anthrocon. Oh, hot damn.
Welcome.
Yeah. All right, and then show of hands. This is your first furry convention. Yes, welcome.
I got one. First panel?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're honored.
How many of you, show of hands, are at this convention because you participated in one of the online conventions? Oh, interesting. That was like almost universal for the first year back after lockdown. Everyone's like, yeah, we partied on VR chat and then we get to do it for real? Yeah!
I bought an index and I don't use it, and now I'm sad.
Oh, you're gonna have it all right.
This is not a giveaway.
Look at your chairs! There's nothing! I'll take it!
Oh, good. Bunch of people are cycling in. We might hit that 200 mark.
All right, how many of you traveled more than 4 hours to get here?
Nice.
Traffic in downtown?
Yes, yes it does.
Yes, it does. I live 6 hours from Dragor, and there's another 2 hours added on just because you get near Chicago and you're like,
Oh, see, I live in the way northwest suburbs, so this is the first year of driving to Anthrocon. I got to skip Chicago. Thank expletive. For those who know, thank you. I appreciate the applause. Yes.
yeah, when I drove to Chicago last year, I was like, oh, I'm making good time. I'm like 6 hours in, and I'm like 20 miles outside of Chicago. 2 hours later.
Yeah, you got stuck in the middle of town traffic. Worse.
All right, silly question. Who's heard of Little League World Series? Okay, who knew that Little League World Series is run out of the smallest city in Pennsylvania, Williamsport? Hi, I'm from Williamsport. It's all we've got going for us.
You don't have much, but you have the one thing.
One thing.
It's a thing.
Is Little League World Series how far you can punt a child?
Yeah! At least this version.
It would be more exciting if it was.
So I've been asked, because I did it at my SEC panel, will you guys have a smash or pass portion of this panel?
Shush.
All right, people are still rolling in, but please, actually be honest. Who in here is under the age of 18? Raise your hand. God,
We've got, okay, it looks like we've got one of them.
there is at least one hand. Okay, that will be relevant later. Thank you. This is an all ages panel officially. Got it.
We'll keep it PG-13.
Will you though?
Yes, we will.
Is it like TV PG-13 where we get one S word?
I think we can swear.
Well, but like, there's levels of swear.
One F-bomb.
Someone just walking is like, what, this is an alphabet panel? You get limited letters? What?
That's a whole different show.
That can't be at this time.
It is officially 6 o'clock.
Do you know where your children are?
You are all my children! Yeah, right there.
Right next to us.
Okay, before we get started, I just have to say, I walked in and was very surprised to see the large lizard boyfriend material over there. And I have been listening to all of you comment as you come in. And it is everything from, whoa, that's huge! And then like, wow, look at that. I didn't know they made inflatables that big. And then I hear one nonchalant person, could be bigger. I see you, Macro Fur. I see you.
We see you, but we don't judge you.
Correct. This is a judge-free zone, except for later when we do literally that. Is it actually 6? I can't see. I fogged my lenses.
6:01.
How about we say we give you everybody time to trickle in until 6:05?
What we're going to do is we're going to start the video, and then...
Well, wait, you got to introduce. You got to make sure to tell people what they're here for, because, you know, how many of you play Dungeons and Dragons?
So you're all here for the Dungeons and Dragons panel, right?
Did you know if you just name your panel how to roleplay, you get the wrong crowd?
I was
Or the right crowd, depending.
I was there for that. I knew what you meant.
I submitted a panel. I would do, you know, I did a bunch of Gen Con Dungeons and Dragons GMing, so I would do these like how to help issues at your table panel, and I didn't realize what they titled it, and I'm looking down, and I see a group of people. Now, it's a FurCon. We're all interestingly dressed, but I see this pack of 5 people that look very confused, so I stop and I go, who here that is in this room did not understand this was about Dungeons and Dragons role-playing? And the 5 that were confused raised their hand, and I go, I am so sorry, this is not what you are looking for. And they got up and left. So, boss, you got to do our introductions. What are we here for?
We're here for the Kaiju panel. We're going to wish Godzilla a happy birthday.
70th anniversary!
And I did just say your name, but who are you? Hi.
Hello.
Who are you?
I was going to do the icebreaker with the video first.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with the video. Make sure everybody trickles in.
Yeah, we're gonna play the video, and then we'll get to introductions. You're all excited to know who I am, right?
Yeah!
The best walk-in so far.
Sorry.
on in, find seats.
It's Quasies!
What kind of flower is that? Back there. Is that your friend?
The disappointment is palpable.
So is the sandwich.
Kids these days.
Kids all days.
This is Quasi's. She has a great YouTube page. I've got some QR codes that I'll hand out. You guys can, follow all these people. I got a real quick one right after this.
17 seconds.
Yep, it's 17 seconds long.
Hey, yo, Mothra, there's like this weird-looking kaiju down here. Yeah, Mothra!
Oh, Koji, I'm sure it's. Oh my God!
So, welcome to the Kaiju panel. Happy birthday, Godzilla. He's 70 on November 3rd. He will be 70 years old. He is exactly 19 years and 364 days older than me.
Happy birthday!
You guys want to sing happy birthday to Godzilla? All right. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Godzilla. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Are we getting copyright in trouble for that still, or did that end finally?
They got rid of that finally.
Yay!
Let them come.
We have Kaiju on our side.
Do you all know the short version? This is your birthday song. It's just this long.
The preferred version.
Anyhow, welcome to the Kaiju panel. I am Bossasaur, and we also have Dragor, and we have Talia Frostscale.
Hi.
I am a dork, and
I think we're all dorks here.
Well, yeah. And,
Cheer if you're a dork!
I was reminded when I first started coming to Anthrocon by Uncle Kage that a lot of people are furries and they don't know it, or they didn't have a word for what they were, which is very true about me, because my earliest memory of any of this was laying on my parents' living room floor, cutting up a Spider-Man comic book, and Ultraman came on. And that's like when I came online. Like this was like 1978. Like I don't know. I was just like, oh, I'm here now.
Computer boot noises.
Yeah, like booted up, and then discovered the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla back, where Godzilla was voiced by Lurch from the Addams Family. Go ahead, look it up. Look it up. The guy was an amazing voice actor. So yeah, and I just kind of got into this stuff, and there was like Star Wars and Transformers and stuff like that. But I keep coming back to Godzilla. I keep coming back to Kaiju. I love Gamera. Revenge Virus is probably my favorite Kaiju movie, and it's got to be in my top 10 of my favorite movies. But anyhow, I'm going to let Dragor and Talia take over.
You were commenting on, furry, finally finding a word for what people are.
Yeah, this is where
they still have not found a word for what I am.
Okay, yeah, it was probably the Hanna-Barbera cartoon that everyone hates with Godzuki that made me into this, So here I am.
So I don't know if you all remember this thing called Blockbuster. But growing up, sleepovers were generally centered around pizza, way too much Coke, the soda, and renting movies, usually sci-fi. But one day, we'd seen all the sci-fi movies, and we saw these old rubber suit lizard monster things, and there weren't even good copies at our local one, so they were the imports. We didn't even have the dubs, and sometimes we were just renting the original Godzilla and Kaiju monster movies without subtitles on VHS. And so that's what I grew up on. It didn't matter. It's all you need. You get...
That's the important part.
Even as kids, you start recognizing and pointing and giggling how many times they reuse footage. But I hadn't really watched any of that stuff. The nail in the coffin for me growing up was like, oh wow, Godzilla movie. Hey, there's a new one. with this guy named Matthew Broderick.
Oh no.
Mom, Dad, our whole friends group, let's go to the theaters. I did not understand until years later why they were angry with us. And so that was kind of it for a while. And so an open question to you all. Did any of you happen to come back to monster movies because of Pacific Rim? Because I did. All right, a couple. Yeah, monsters fighting robots, woo. So Bossasaur pings me, it's like, hey Dragor, you kind of like this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'd like drawings of it. And so a friend of mine who's also into this stuff, we started doing a watch through of a selection of the original run of Godzilla movies with subtitles this time. And it's been great, so we'll get into more of that later, but I've had a on and off again relationship with these movies, and oh gosh, do I love them dearly.
So I'm Talia, some of you might know me as Frostscale as well. My monster stuff has been basically since any time I can remember. It began with like little monsters in children's shows. It grew bigger as I ran into Godzilla and all of that. And then I got really, really into Japanese media in general. So you have Ultraman monsters, you have those little weird movies, you have Kamen Rider with all their monsters. There are so many genres and stories out there to tell that have monsters involved, and it's kind of stuck with me since the beginning for my own experiences.
Shin Kamen Rider, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It blew my mind, and I'd never seen anything Kamen Rider before.
Yeah, that one doesn't introduce a whole lot of monsters, but it's definitely a good kicking off point if you've never seen anything in that genre. So.
It turned off.
Oh, good. I know the only girl that had computer issues then.
Wait, did your computer turn off or did the... Oh, it's back!
Yeah, it's back. It's back.
Oh, hey, look, I'm on the screen.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. We all
You've
are.
been there the whole time.
Yes.
There's a little slideshow symbol next to that 100% kind of on the bottom right there. Do you see that little, yep, you're almost there. To the right. A
Well,
little bit to the left,
we have a-
tiny
we
bit
have
right
something else
there.
coming up,
If you
too.
click that, it won't go to sleep. Oh, there you go. Full screen.
Yay!
Now it's small.
This is like every work Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, this is my first ever PowerPoint, so I think I did okay. So, and one thing that I'd like to do is that in December 16th, we lost the second Godzilla suit actor, Kinpachiro Satsuma. I was lucky enough to meet him twice. The man retired from stunt work in 2002 and spent the rest of his life traveling the country, going to conventions, meeting people just like us. He loved us. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to play a little tribute video to him. Like I said, the times that I got to meet him, okay, so I got a hold of a Godzilla, Return of Godzilla 1984 movie magazine. They only do these in Japan. Like you go to a movie, you got a magazine and stuff. They're beautiful, like they're gorgeous. And I took it to him and I handed it. And you know, language barrier. He doesn't speak English, or at least not very much. And he's going, you know, where do you want me to sign it? And I'm like, just like it's so it's all over the whole front, and I love it. I cherish it. It's a great memory, and I'm so happy to have met him. But what I'd like to do. I'm not moving. Yeah, I just want to play this little video. That's it. All right.
I don't know what it's doing.
What did you do?
Hit it with a hammer.
This, Steve.
There you go.
There we go. Now you can bring up the video.
You wouldn't have a good Godzilla movie if everything went right.
His first role in a Godzilla film was Hedorah, and the smog monster. And then he did Gigan, and in '84 he was tapped to replace Haru Nakajima, and he was the face of Godzilla, the Heisei Godzilla. also have a friend who did this comic book cover right here. He's a writer. He's worked for IDW. And I talked to him. He's an amazing artist. He was the lead artist on Godzilla Rulers of Earth for IDW, if anybody has seen or read that. And he wanted to send a message to the fans at Anthrocon. I'm trying desperately to get him to come here. But here we go.
Hey there, Anthrocon. This is your buddy Matt Frank. As a quick introduction, I am a comic book artist and a writer, as well as just an artist and designer and illustrator. Anyway, I've worked extensively on the Godzilla franchise, working on comics, on posters, on T-shirts, and lots of other goodies, and not just Godzilla, of course. I've worked on Gamma, worked on the Gamma Blu-ray set from Arrow Video, and I've worked on some Ultraman stuff like the Ultraman Pinball Machine. And Bossasaur asked me to record a little video talking about what kaiju means to me, what the kaiju genre means to me. And since we don't have 4 hours, I will do my best to summarize. You know what's funny? I think about that question and I remember a conversation I actually had in high school with a very dear friend of mine. She and I were talking about some stuff, and I was talking about kaiju stuff, you know, probably I was just like, ooh, this and that. And then I caught myself and I was just like, you know, thanks for listening to me, you know, listen to me kind of ramble about this stuff. I know that it's not, you know, it's extremely specific. And she was very kind, and she said, well, Matt, I mean, it's not just something you're passionate about, you believe in it. And I had to stop and think about that, and it stuck with me, you know, in the years intervening about, like, what does it mean to kind of believe in a genre, especially like this one. And when it comes to kaiju, I think that the simplest answer is actually to quote from Jurassic World. There's a line by the Maserati character who says, Jurassic World exists to remind us how small we are. And I think that extends to not just to like dinosaurs and the study of paleontology, which is the thing that like my first true great love when I was a kid. It also extends to, of course, the kaiju genre, this idea of being reminded how small we are. And I think it goes in a couple of different ways, especially in the kaiju genre, because being reminded that you're small doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It gives you perspective. You know, the kaiju, kind of by their nature, are very big and very powerful, and you can't, in a lot of cases, just shoot them to death, you know, like in most cases. As a narrative device, the idea that the military can't stop the kaiju just with traditional, with conventional weaponry, and even with unconventional weaponry, it gets more difficult. I think that's important as a narrative device, because kaiju are kind of supposed to be this thing beyond the norm. I mean, the word literally translates to strange beast, mysterious beast, something unknowable, something that is hard to kind of wrap your head around. And the idea that it takes people working together, because again, if kaiju are here to remind us how small we are, then the way for the characters to come out on top is to be reminded that they are stronger together. You know, it takes cooperation, it takes thinking outside the box. It takes, unconventional solutions, even though you are small. And again, it is a reminder of like, oh man, that's like how the original Godzilla ended. Even though they had defeated Godzilla, Dr. Yamane is the one who comes in and says, if we keep testing nuclear weapons, another Godzilla will appear one day. And it came true, but the idea is that, oh crap, this is this new paradigm. This paradigm is here to remind us that we might think we're the dominant species, we might think we're invincible as a species, but we're not. And it's something that, the genre kind of shows us how fragile the world is. I mean, especially in the case of like Godzilla X Kong, where apparently kaiju can just pop out of the ground like daisies and wipe an entire city off of the map. R.I.P. Rio de Janeiro. But, in the case of something like Godzilla Minus One, you had regular people coming together to create a solution, and through their teamwork and through their dedication to each other, it's about these thematic things. It's about the kaiju show up and they strip everything down and kind of remind you what's important, I think, and remind you about the core of what humanity is capable of and what humanity should be capable of in kind of almost a Star Trek-y way. Anyway, again, 4 hours. Hopefully that answers the question. Thank you, Bossasaur, for asking me to make this video. I like yelling about this subject. All right, now I have to remember how to turn this off.
All right.
It's still illegal, huh?
Teeth. Big teeth. Just as important as the message of humanity is giant teeth.
When you mentioned Star Trek, all I thought was, all right, how does Picard actually bridge the communication gap with Godzilla?
Very carefully.
Godzilla grabs the Enterprise, shakes it around.
So does anyone here, I mean, I know we have our macro furs and stuff like that, but, do we have any kaiju furs here?
Oh,
we got one.
Yeah.
We got one. We got one standing over here. What's your name?
Here.
Tyr. Well, hello, Tyr. How big are you?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a fair answer.
That is the correct answer.
All right, so based on your intro coming into this room, show of hands, how many people actually accidentally ran into a relative at a FurCon?
A couple, it looks like.
I've had that happen with coworkers, but I've never witnessed Daddy. Oh, that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
So, do we want to go on or do we want to start with the game?
Let's start with let's get people involved. Let's go to the game.
You want to go to the game?
Yeah.
Okay, some of you probably have heard of this under a different title. Markiplier, I've seen a video of his involving Pokemon. But
this one's PG-13.
This is PG-13. So we have hug or shrug.
It's so cute.
Is there a qualifier that we have to decide that they're the same size as we are, otherwise chances are anyone...
You can still hug a big guy, you might just not feel it.
That was the other way around.
This is why you all need kaiju sonas, so you can hug the kaiju that you like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although depending on which one, like you still have like even similar size. You gotta mind the awkward spikes and pointy bits, and occasionally a saw blade.
That is true.
Gigan would be hard to hug.
Not impossible, but hard.
So, we're gonna go easy on this one. We got Big Chunky Boy.
Hug or shrug. Hug or shrug.
So, hug.
That one's the easy one.
This is an easy one. Okay.
He's going to fix you.
Now the one in New Empire, he's a little bit, he's like all CrossFit. Like, I think I like the chunky boy better.
I have never in my life imagined combining CrossFit and Kaiju. What is
And yet
wrong?
here we are.
I will show you pictures. I will show you pictures.
All right.
Your sources.
I got another one that's real easy here. Anyone like daddies?
Oh God.
Hug or shrug?
We have any strong shrugs here? We have any Mario people? Okay.
He's perfect in winter. He's nice and warm.
So this next one is from Ultraman. So it might be a little niche for some, but...
So, what are we going to do with this guy?
Akumania, does he deserve a hug or a shrug?
Honestly, he deserves some clear eyes. Look at those veins. Give him eye drops. Come on, be nice.
I mean, he's got his arms wide open. I mean, he's ready.
I think those are legs. No, those are.
So I'm hearing some shrugs on that one. That's fair.
Okay, so does anyone here like flowers? You like flowers? You like roses? No?
No.
Oh. You like roses that have dead girl DNA in them mixed in with Godzilla?
Hug or shrug violently.
You are all telling on yourselves, and I love it. I love it dearly.
So many arms for which to.
She's gonna hug you back. I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Okay, really quick.
They're rose scented as well.
My friend's like, hey, Dragor, I'm visiting from Texas. You want to watch a monster movie? I'm like, sure, there's a billion of them. You got one to pick out? They're like, yeah, let's watch Biollante. And so we do. And I see some of the key moments, I immediately look at them and go, I thought we were watching a movie, not watching you get all, ooh, look at this. I realized right before I got to that part, like, oh, right, this is an all ages panel. Okay.
I keep on the outskirts of the kaiju fandom because they can get a little bit
spicy.
Yeah, they can get a little spicy. Spicy is a good word, and not in a good way. But I know many of them are very much in love with Biollante. So, any J.J. Abrams fans here?
I'm hearing some middling responses.
Are we a collective shrug for J.J. Abrams?
Yes. Yes.
So how do we feel about Clover then?
Okay. What a good one.
Oh, we have a Clover stand here.
I like the movie. It's a good movie.
It is.
It's probably one of J.J. Abrams' better ones.
Yes. It has an ending.
That's important.
Look at the sequels.
We don't talk about the sequels. So, hug or shrug Clover?
So I'm sure all of you have a best friend.
Can there be a middle where you give them a high five? I feel like
That's a good middling.
I feel like their middle arms are just perfect for that.
Maybe.
Not just like,
Okay, we'll high five him. And hug. Either or. Now, you all have a best friend, and Godzilla has a best friend. And he's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog's little spiky boy. He's Anguirus.
Lots of hugs for
Lots of
Anguirus.
hugs for Anguirus. I don't, we're not getting any shrugs here, guys.
Very few, very few.
Very few shrugs.
Some of you are very okay with pain, and that is concerning.
do you ever hear the song of
He
Dancing
is
Hedgehogs?
What'd you say?
I said, do you ever hear the song of Dancing Hedgehogs?
Yeah.
Basically, they only have each other to hold. It's painful, but they're the only ones who would hold one another.
And everyone likes this guy, I think.
What happens when Godzilla comes from space? You call him Space Godzilla.
That's a whole lot of weird genetics, because technically he's his cousin.
I love that scene where he's like, you know that's a dude.
He's into it. He's into it.
You done him?
I love the cigarette. It's the
Very important character quality of the cigarette.
Hug or shrug Space Godzilla?
Well, maybe not because he was mean to baby Godzilla.
He is a bully.
He is.
Maybe he just needs a hug, though.
Space Godzilla is a bully, but the humans are the bullies to the...
What the
Right.
golden bison
We all have dogs.
And Godzilla has a dog.
Godzilla has a dog.
I want to give it a treat.
A treat, a hug, a good pet.
warm place to sleep.
Okay, so let's say you're hanging out, you're underground, you don't know what's going on, and you start hearing things. You know, you put on your Discord headset and you're listening, and people were saying, hey, you need to fuck up the world.
Oh, you got our one F-bomb.
We sold our one
That's our
F-bomb.
one.
I think that's one F-bomb per, right?
We can work with that.
So what do you think of Deathwing / Notherion? Is there any World of Warcraft players in here?
Yeah.
I play it way too much.
I wouldn't so much hug, but I would hire them as HR.
Or security, depending.
No HR.
That's fair.
They're good
So
at
hug or
hiring
shrug?
people.
Oh, well, we're gonna hug it. You know, you might make him nice again. Apparently, he liked to play tricks on people back in the day. So,
This goofball.
I don't even know what to do
No,
with this
no.
guy.
All right, ready? You all like to chant, right? All right. It's one of the best chants. Big dumb ears. Big dumb ears. Big dumb ears. Big dumb ears. Thank you for that.
So here's the question is, do you think he hugs with his ears?
Okay, this next one. This is a god. He is the god of F around and find out. Daimajin.
He's too human-like. Give him a shrug.
Yeah. I don't think he would appreciate either. He just gets mad and smashes people. And then, you know, sometimes that happens to you.
He does.
You're gonna hug? You're gonna hug Shin Godzilla?
He needs a hug and burn cream.
Gently, very gently. He looks like he burns from the slightest touch, so just...
Oh, we got a couple versions in here.
Oh, good.
Okay, anyone like SWAT cats?
Excellent.
Well, good, because we have Dr. Viper. Doesn't start out a kaiju. He's only a kaiju in one episode, but it is my favorite episode of the show.
Counts.
I can't imagine why.
No idea why.
So hug or shrug, Dr. Viper?
Good choice.
Oh, then we got our bad guy here. He's another kind of DNA version of Godzilla mixed with stuff.
They just need to stop handing out his DNA.
Well, you're gonna hug Destroya.
It might destroy you, but it's worth a hug.
Now, because he can also break apart in a bunch of different forms, so he can be human-sized if you know. So he could take the hug, but I'm not sure you would want it back.
Are any of you wrestling fans in here too? Yeah! So I didn't know there were wrestling moves in these old movies. And so like, I sometimes watch New Japan wrestling too. And so like, every time I see this guy, I always hear the announcers whenever someone goes to do a Canadian Destroyer. Canadian Destroyer! And then, you know, I picture people in rubber suits suplexing each other.
It's the best kind of suplex.
Was anyone here a couple years ago when Kaiju Combat? Yeah.
Kaiju Big Battle.
Yep. That's good stuff. This one I know is going to be a hug. I don't even have to introduce him.
He deserves 2 hugs.
Yes. Everyone likes Rathalos, especially when he's commenting on the cops. This guy I don't know about. Maybe you do. What is going on here?
He is a fellow.
He's a fellow?
Usually man is a furry. That's
I have these soft spots because like the OG Godzilla suit, the biggest takeaway I have is like, why are the eyes so close together?
This is another Ultraman monster, so He's trying his
He's
best.
trying
yes.
his best. A hug for trying his best, yes.
Alrighty. So hugs on him. All right, now this one, I'm not sure I can show this one.
Oh.
Well, now that you said that, you have to.
Yep. He's a little awkward, but
I mean, I know furries, and I know what they're going to want to do with this guy.
do we summon him deliberately this time?
So hug or shrug? Shrug!
No, the real question is who wants to be hugged by its esophagus?
Oh. That's a spicy meatball.
He's the size of a city. So, nobody likes bullies. And I don't like this bully. I'm not giving him a hug.
Nah.
Yeah, you can punch this guy. He picks on baby Godzilla.
Who does that? Come on now. It's
Guevara
literally in the
does.
name. Baby Godzilla. It's literally in the name. Come
We
on.
opened this panel with talking about punting children for distance, and we all cheered.
Those are human children, though.
This guy a hug simply because Manila looks like cancer.
Yes.
incarnate.
It all depends on the kind of baby Godzilla.
That's fair, I suppose.
Now, if it was a Heisei baby Godzilla, I'd throw this guy under a moving train. But
Okay.
That's
Wow!
They're probably going to tear my heart out on this one. I don't know. You like Gamera? We're going to give him a hug? Oh, thank you. Where's Kevin? Kevin.
Which Kevin?
That Kevin. You're just hugging Kevin. The other two we don't like. You gonna hug all three?
You have a higher chance of surviving with Kevin.
My favorite part of watching the original movie of that is like you've got all of these heads and the special spine and everything, and they had limited footage, so anytime they genuinely bonked heads, they kept it.
They do bonk heads a lot.
Quite a lot.
And then we got the new hotness.
Vegan 2.0.
What? He has buzzsaws, his arms come off, he has chainsaws, he's got all kinds of attachments. He's got some things that might not be safe for work.
Yeah, that is OSHA violation, the persona.
Yeah.
He took the Barbie brand of.
That's a big old shrug.
I'm shrugging on it.
He's just a big T-Rex.
I'm not getting any
But worse. That's debatable.
He's a single mother of
Bad directing.
He deserves a hug.
Shame on you.
He tried his best.
Yes! You hug him for trying his best.
Indeed.
His son did pretty good though.
The cartoon is entirely acceptable.
We got a hug or we got a shrug, Godzuki?
Punt.
Now here comes one that's kind of a very big niche. So if any of you know it, I will be surprised. Jirara. This is from the 1967 film The X from Outer Space, which is one of his names, actually. He's also known as Monster Bug, Demos, and Protonical... I'm not even pronouncing that.
What did he do to be called the X?
He came from outer space.
I thought it was gaslighting.
60s.
Elon Musk would not buy it.
Relative.
Is he like fit together or something? It looks like he has like.
He comes in pieces. Yeah, he can like detach his head and stuff.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
How do we canonize that these suits have to be pieced together when you put them on? Well, we can take the head off and suspend it on wires. Great,
Yeah.
put it in the shot.
All right. Does anyone here like vegetables?
Where are you
Eat
going?
your vegetables. Shrug. Yeah, shrug all over King Kong.
You don't get to shove a tree down somebody's throat and still get a hug.
Now here's an older one. He was redesigned for the Heisei, but this is the Showa version. A little bit weird, has 2 spines. Don't really know how that works. Gallus. So we're gonna hug him. That's like a pity hug.
Shrug and then hug him because you feel bad.
Yeah, you can do both. As someone with scoliosis, I'm pretty jealous of this 2 spine thing.
He's a lot of things. All right, well, we'll get this one out.
Yeah, there we go.
Did you all know next to Godzilla, Mothra is the most successful, like, overall media of this whole kaiju thing? Like, sold the most toys.
Mothra, I won't even try to get to that pitch.
Quick question, why does she have to die in almost every movie?
Okay, so I'd like never really remembered. So we did a little watch-along project. We'll talk about it more in a little bit. But I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize how good this Mothra was. And so I say to my friend, hey, there's a trilogy of early '90s ones. And my friend goes, oh my god, Dragler, prepare to be sad.
Death Ghidorah is amazing. His movie isn't, but the design is awesome.
See, all right, one of the suggestions before we centered on the amazing hug or shrug was like, okay, who would you hold hands with? And I'm like, well, Mothra, because she's got 6.
Aha.
All right, so Pacific Rim fans.
Raiju. It's a pointy hug if you go for it.
I think that head opens up.
Yeah, it
There's
does.
stuff in there.
I think that's the point of a head, is to have stuff in it.
And who here loves pollution?
The most poisonous hug, unless you get a hazmat suit.
I already have some of this microplastics in me.
You probably do. We all have microplastics because of Hedora.
Hedora resides in all of us. Unfortunately.
And from my favorite kaiju movie. I think maybe we got some tentacles going on here. I don't know.
Okay, maybe instead of hug, maybe I would kneel before, you know? Like...
This is from Revenge of Iris, Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris. I love Iris because she is the opposite of Gamera in a way that is so insidious, in that a child who hates Gamera because her parents were killed in the first movie of the trilogy, she bonds with this thing and it absorbs her hatred for Gamera. And it is like it is such a good movie. The juxtaposition is crazy. So Mothra is not the only Showa kaiju who got a song. This one has a longer song.
A very long song.
A very, very long song.
Caesar! It is just basically somebody's Sona, isn't it?
You guys gonna hug him? He's a good boy.
Somebody couldn't decide whether...
Tummy rubs. All right? You broke it.
There, oh, there we go.
Oh, we got some loose cableage.
Yeah, the mic decided to be touchy. There we go.
Okay. Got another Pacific Rim.
Knife head.
So wait, you are all saying you want to hug someone named Knife Head.
You get hugged and stabbed for the price of one.
I'm pretty sure on Fur Affinity there's a drop down for Knife Head hugs Pyramid Head.
You could just give him a scabbard for that head.
So this next picture is great because like he's looking up his name and going, what?
Wait, I'm sorry. Knife head.
Oh, what?
You learn where you stand with knife head really quick because he gets to the point.
So we have the new Kong. Do we like the new Kong? Yeah. We give him a hug.
He's a little better than old Kong.
Do you like the full new Kong, or are y'all just looking at his pecs?
Why not both?
Now the real question is anybody actually watched all the way through the Peter Jackson Kong?
No one's done that.
Oh, yes. All 7 hours.
Funny story. I went to see that in the theaters, and we were an hour in, and the guy came down and he sat behind me and he says, "Did I miss the T-Rex?" I said, "They aren't even on the island yet."
They spent 10 minutes showing that she got onto a boat.
Any fans of stop motion? Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah, there we go. Rockin'. Definitely hugging this one.
I mean, this creature and a couple others are basically why Shape of Water exists. And if you don't know what that is, this audience, go look that up. You'll be rewarded. It'll be great.
Or not.
All right. Speaking of knife head, here's his cousin.
I don't know. He looks a little dull.
Oh, no.
Yes, your booze give me life.
We all like video games. This is an oldie, but it got remade with The Rock. You like Lizzie? Lizzie was like the good part of that movie.
The only good part of that movie.
I would feed a tax collector to Lizzie.
Most people would.
This is an easy one. We got Hey Say Godzilla.
Yes, there we go. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yep. And then we got some classic here. We got classic. We're gonna hug him. We're gonna hug him.
Yeah. It's gonna be cold, but
yeah, don't shake hands with them though. Those things they fire off.
They still need
Power Rangers fans.
Yeah.
What is this? What?
yes. It's a pig ball. What are you asking?
What am I supposed to do? That he apparently wants to eat something.
Spicy food is his enemy.
Oh, okay. So we hug him, we shrug him, we feed him.
If you hug him, you get indigestion.
This next one involves a kidnapping.
Yeah.
Does everyone know the story of Pulgasari? There was a South Korean film duo, and Kim Jong-il was a huge, this is Kim Jong-un's father, was a huge cinephile. And this husband and wife duo, who were actually divorced at the time, he kidnapped them in 1976. And he said, "You need to make movies for me." And this was the last movie they made because he wanted a Godzilla movie. So they made Pulgasari. Pulgasari is exactly like he wanted propaganda films. Pulgasari, it can be interpreted several ways, but they kind of like...
They were taking shots.
Yeah, they were taking some shots at him. And yeah, they kind of...
Thankfully, they did not actually take shots for their shots taken. They successfully escaped. Where? They had an American embassy in which country?
Vienna.
Yeah.
1986.
We're not making this up. This actually happened.
Okay, and because they were divorced, Kim Jong-il suggested that they get remarried, and they did.
Suggested.
So, and then when they actually escaped, and they came to live in the U.S. They lived on opposite coasts because they didn't want to be around each other.
Because every time they saw each other's face, they saw Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
That would make me ill too.
If you are interested in seeing Pulgasari, it is on archive.org, like for free. So like the movie was made. For a while, North Korea tried to, fight the rest of the world. It's like, no, you have to respect our copyright. And the rest of the world's like,
No.
And so that's why you can always see it for free, because, you know, it's a bit of a...
If you do watch it, you will hear something over and over again. Pugasaria! You like Transformers? I like Transformers. Trypticon. You like Trypticon?
That's a given hug.
Do you like people who run resorts for kaiju?
Definitely.
I would hug Titanosaurus.
I want to paint their nails.
They want
What? Don't judge me.
Titanosaurus was made to fight against his will, the poor thing. He's just one.
And you can do it in style with painted nails.
And then we got another Pacific Rim guy.
Slattering.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hearing. They're a little cold on that one.
Mixed bag.
Did I just hear too wide?
Too wide to hug. I repeat, too wide to hug.
Now we have, this one is confusing because he's Godzilla and it's like he's covered in bananas.
This is how you escape copyright.
And the other thing is that he only recently became red, but he's been around for like 50 years.
Yeah, he was originally like green-gray.
Yeah, but he's...
What if...
He's Ultraman.
What if we take Godzilla and a corn cob?
Yes.
So we list their names Red
I think he
King
even
and
sounds like Godzilla too.
A little bit, yeah.
Red.
Yeah, he's not red, but his name is Red King.
Bullshit.
He only recently turned red.
He's been repeated and repeated, despite the franchise being basically the equivalent of Kamen Rider, where it's a different series each time. He keeps showing up.
And he finally turned red.
Finally. It took decades.
This one I haven't seen yet. This just came out a couple years ago, but Orochi.
The relationship maintenance there.
How do you handle all those heads?
How do you hug them all at once? Do you set aside a separate day for each head? And, it's a sleeping situation.
Don't they all?
All right, this is the last one for Hugger Shrug. I saved it for last because it kicked everything off. So
he gets the extra long hug.
We thank you for your sacrifice. No, really, the history of those suits is gnarly.
Some of those stayed around for far too long, and they got smelly.
I got to meet Haru Nakajima, who was this Godzilla. He almost drowned several times in that suit.
Yep. It was a different era. It was the era before OSHA-esque systems.
I don't even know if they have it in Japan now.
They have something similar, but it's still not great.
Yeah, but this was another man. They did an interview with him probably about a decade before he passed away. He passed away in 2017. And they said his entire house was full of Godzilla merchandise, gifts, letters from his fans from all over the world. He loved his fans.
A lot of the suit actors adore their fans. It's definitely one of those things where some face actors, they get tired of their fans and everything and they go off somewhere. And then you get the suit actors and... But the suit actors seem to love their people a lot. They show up to cons, they send off messages during, like, there was a lot of Kamen Rider guys that were actually doing like little videos during the pandemic, like, hey, we're trying our best here, we thank you for your support and everything, we love you all, we'll be back after COVID.
So, as you know, here at Anthrocon, we have charities. I am on charity staff. Dragor does many shows to raise money for charity.
All throughout this weekend, you're going to get multiple shows. If you were at opening ceremonies, you heard of a few. Boozy, Kage, and Alkali do a big charity show on Sunday. There are many panels. If you do get a chance, there's the charity auction, which is really cool. The saying, Alkali always says it best. We try and help those who can't help themselves. And if you can give, and if you can't, please enjoy yourselves. What we have here at Anthrocon and furry in general is so weird. It is so wonderfully weird. not like, we're not going to punch down at other convention or fandoms and things, but furry is by us, for us. There is no other, we're fans of Godzilla here, but we're all furries. We're doing this because we chose to. There's no obligation. So given that, there are multiple charity things that are going on this weekend. If you can, get to the dealer's den. There will be a table there, and the charity representatives will be all throughout the weekend. I have just done the most magnificent space cadet possible. Who is our charity?
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Great Paw Sanctuary.
Great Paws, yes. Great
Yes,
Paws Sanctuary.
I was about to say, it's like, it's for the elderly dogs. Like, are they talking about us or the actual dogs?
Yes!
Pretty sure this entire panel lead is Gray Muzzle at this point, so.
I am a demon.
That's fair.
Hiss.
Eternal.
I'm a dinosaur.
Thank you. But, Bossasaur, please describe for us, again, what we have here and what we're about to do with it.
Well, this is the 70th anniversary comic book that has been put out by IDW Publishing. This is a convention exclusive. I'm not sure which convention it is, but it has several stories in it by people who have been involved in the industry. I think there are 9, maybe 7, I'm not sure. The gentleman who spoke earlier, he wrote and did the artwork. He did this cover. And
Which is lenticular.
It's a lenticular cover.
Oh, that's why it's moving. It's not me freaking out.
Yes, it has a lenticular cover, which is great for its
I told you not to eat those mushrooms for lunch.
You lined it up perfectly. You should have shared.
Oh, Dick! Totally unintentional. I am awesome.
So what we want to do is we'd like to give you an opportunity to walk out of here with us today. We only have the one. And
Just the
we'd
one.
like to know any money that you would be willing to bid is going to go straight to our charity. You can do cash, or we do have a QR code that you could go ahead and charge. But would anyone like to bid and to help out these senior animals with Great Paws
So
Sanctuary?
real quick, rules, let me speak into the thing. Here. Ooh, this is dangerous.
Don't pull too far.
Phrasing. Anyway, so here's how bidding works. If you really do want this, serious bids only. There is at least one person who is under 18. You cannot. But your parent, guardian, or what have you, or older friend can. Great. If you need to come see this, or you want a runner, I will go and bring it closer, or you can carefully come down and come take a look at this. The lenticular thing really is cool. Strong recommend. I was pretty wowed by it, and I have sunglasses lenses for eyes. Woo! Okay, so what is our opening bid for this?
I think $20 sounds fine.
Does anyone want a unique piece of Godzilla media for $20? All right, we have one right there. All right, I gotta set this up. All right, we have $20 right there. Blinded again.
Very good, very good.
I am so good at this. All right, $20 there going once. Do I hear $30 for the magnificent? I saw it over there, 30. Do we have 40? Right there, $40. Do we have 50? 50 there? Yes, I got you. All right, and if you want to not do a $10 increment, or you want to jump,
shout it out.
Number.
$100.
Numbers only.
We've got 100. We've got 100.
Where?
Right here, $100.
Purple hair.
$100. Wow, 3 digits. Cheer!
Woo. Do we hear anything above 100?
110 down in the front. Hell yeah.
120.
With your hand raised, 120? Fantastic. We're up to 120.
What was that?
125 up in the corner. Thank you.
Do not do $1 increments. That's kind of rude.
130. Do we hear 100? Ooh, $130. We have a little bit of a bidding war. 140.
45.
145. All right, we've got a back and forth. You gonna flex? 150. 155. You can do bigger than $5 increments. 107. Woo!
Ooh, we're up to 170.
Oh, 180.
180. Whoa, we've hit 200, folks. We've hit 200. Well done.
210. They're firing back. Wow, wow, wow. Anybody else? Do I hear 220? We have 210 in the front left, going once. 225.
225 from the Dragon in green.
Your daddy would be proud.
230.
We are at 230. You gonna jump it up again? Daddy's judging you. 250. Hell yeah! And we're at 255. We need another bigger flex. Come on, team. 200. You said 255? 255 going once.
Going twice.
255 going twice. Drum roll.
I believe that's sold. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so what you're going to do is there's a QR code that's going to be a donation directly.
You can come over here if you...
And then you're going to go over there and we're going to verify before it goes through. Okay, so things like this happen here and there. Sometimes we have panels where people just throw money at the stage for silliness to happen. Be on the lookout. It is wonderful. It is always fantastic. And then if you can be at closing ceremonies where we do announce the incredible numbers and generosity of this furry fandom, it really is heartwarming. Strong recommend if you have not seen one of these before. All right, I have thoroughly fogged my lenses because I got excited. Okay.
And there's still a little bit more to come, so stay tuned unless you have somewhere to be.
So while that's being worked on, I'm going to talk a little bit. If you don't know the person, Alkali Bismuth, he's going to be doing a lot of charity stuff this weekend, especially. Very funny person, wonderful dear friend of mine, and with him, we do a lot of watch-alongs. So my reintroduction to all of these movies was doing a little bit of Yarhar pirate streaming, and we did a watch-along of the Showa-era movies. We did 5 of them and did a little mini MCU arc of movies that flowed together. So we did Godzilla Raids again, Mothra, Mothra vs. Godzilla, Rodan, and the original Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. Which if you don't know it, I didn't know the 3 monsters were going to have a discussion. There was! And then the fairies, the pixies, they're translating for the other humans and us, the viewer. And at one point, they're going back and forth on why they don't want to help fight Ghidorah. And Godzilla says, in Godzilla speak, and I quote, "The humans bully us."
It's a fair reason, I suppose.
In Godzilla vs. Mothra, my favoriteest scene. So like a lot of these movies were made on a budget. So when they shot something, they had one shot. You know, it took all this time to build these models.
That's the only set of the models.
Right. And so the person in the Godzilla suit for one of the castles slips. He falls face first into the castle, and then there's a pause, and you can just imagine hearing the director on set say, "Okay, but now attack," and he just starts going crazy. They backfill shooting a scene of his foot slipping because they needed to use the footage.
They had to make it canon. They couldn't just cut to it.
Okay, did I delay time enough?
I think so.
Oh, it's gone. So yeah, unless we have a problem, hooray!
Yep, we are all set. Thank you very much for that charitable donation.
Yeah!
If anyone is interested in any of the videos that I am showing today, I have QR codes up here for these people. One is for Matt, who did the artwork for that and also did the video for us.